This video is sponsored by Raid, as in... Welcome back, Hunting Grounds number 24. Gonna get right into it. Now, I hope you enjoy the cinematic shot of me walking into the... Oh god, you saw that ghost floating up there? He got grabbed by the cleric beast. Now, I have been doing something, and I have been playing co-op. That is the something that I've been doing. For about 4 months now, I've been playing a lot of co-op in Bloodborne, specifically. But at the same time, I was replaying Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, making the Faith Hammer characters, something that I'd never done before. By that, I mean that I was building a character specifically to use Grant, the weapon called Grant in Dark Souls 1, the Sacred Chime Hammer in Dark Souls 2, and the Morn's Great Hammer in Dark Souls 3. That is something that I had never done. PvE-focused characters did not really give a shit about over-leveling or anything like that. I just kind of leveled up whatever I needed. I just kind of wanted to talk about that. The PvE. Now, you may not believe me, but I am very much a PvE-focused kind of guy. Single-player games are what I enjoy the most. It just so happens that, online interactions became incredibly popular, especially in this generation of video games and video game consoles. So with that said, I mean, the PvP in these games, I look at it the way that they're just something extra to do. Now, you're going to see some footage of me destroying Amelia with the host. Sometimes I enjoy going into a world and destroying a boss, while sometimes I will try to go there and kind of take it a little bit more easy if it's a base game boss, because only the DLC bosses have enough kick to them and health and defense where they can really stand my upgraded weapon. Now, with that said, there are times like right now where I just feel like murdering a base game enemy or a boss particularly, so that someone can just kind of go and have progress. Just try-harding, even using the numbing mist so that she doesn't heal. Just destroying a boss, just completely. Now, I don't do that often because I think that there is such a thing as robbing someone from the experience of just fighting against a boss because you're just such a powerful co-opper, right? This was maybe one of those cases, but I just felt like doing it. I wanted to stick my stake driver inside of Amelia. Okay, I'll stop. That sounds bad. But there are times that I just feel like murdering a base game boss, so that's what that was. Now, hopping back onto the PvP. Now, PvP is enjoyable. I have done... Like, every video on this fucking channel is basically just talking about PvP in all of the games, Fromsoftware games. And, yeah, I just, you may not think it, but I don't really care that much about PvP. It's not that I hate it, of course not. It's just that, for example, I enjoy Sekiro for what it was. It is a single-player focused game. I enjoyed it. A lot of people didn't because they were looking for that online. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that for me personally, I think that PvE should always come first, because that's what you have to play beforehand. That's kind of how it goes with these games. These games are not focused on being PvP focused games or even just like multiplayer games in general. They are first and foremost a single player campaign experience with an online component. That's something that a lot of people don't seem to quite grasp, I do agree with the fact that having PvP in these games extends the longevity and the community and the discussion of the game. I mean, it's logical, right? You get to go into someone's world and you murder them. Yeah, you're going to want to talk about that. You're going to want to make videos like I do. I mean, I'm been doing it for I don't even know how long. Still doing it. And it's still fun. So, yeah. I mean, if anything, to those of you that are still waiting for more Elden Ring just news in general, I recommend you go back and revisit Dark Souls 1, 2, 3. I even wanted to go back to Demon Souls, but my PS3, it sadly doesn't want to read any discs anymore. I have Demon Souls, physical copy of it, but it just doesn't want to work, so boo-hoo. But I recommend going back. I recommend trying out new builds, just kind of be PvE focused. Don't worry about the numbers. The numbers, Mason! What do they mean? Don't worry about the numbers. Just kind of level up whatever you need. Use weapons that you have never used before. And just kind of try it out. I mean, what else are you gonna do while you're waiting for Elden Ring and you want to have that Fromsoftware fix? And all you have is the games that we already have, so just kind of go back to them is what I recommend. Try new things. If you've stuck long enough to this channel and you've consistently heard my ramblings, you should know that I am very much an advocate of change, trying new things, using a variety of weapons and builds and characters and playstyles, even do some role-playing if you have to. Go ahead. But there are ways to spice up the PvE and even the PvP, I would say. So if you're on the fence about just kind of getting back into one of these games, not necessarily only Bloodborne, just kind of do it. I mean, we're all waiting for more Elden Ring stuff. I wasn't really feeling it before because I knew that it was going to take a while for them to release any news. But now that we're closer, we're further up ahead in the schedule, I'm kind of feeling that itch. I kind of want to know more. I want to see gameplay. That's really my main concern. I want to see more gameplay. That's what I want. But how about we talk about what's going on in the screen right now? This is a standard 2v1 situation in Bloodborne. You've seen it 100 million times if you've been watching my videos. Speaking of which, I had a sudden boom of subscribers. I have 82 subscribers. I know that doesn't sound a lot like for making money on YouTube standards, but I don't want to do that, so whatever. But thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Your subscriptions did not get ignored by me. I just didn't want to make a big fuss about it, I thought about making a separate video saying like, hey, thanks. But yeah, I had like a lot of views on my Elden Ring discussion videos. And I know that it's only like a seasonal thing. It's because people were interested in just kind of hearing more about Elden Ring, even if it's just a guy talking to himself. But out of like 4,000 people, there were like 45 of you that subscribed. So thanks. I guess I'm not entertaining enough for the remaining thousands of people. So that really hit me in the self-esteem. But, that's cool. This isn't my job. But again, thank you for sticking around. I hope that my shitty fucking content is entertaining enough for you to stay. And this is basically what I do. Just as a little heads up, I do plan on maybe streaming again if I get better internet soon, which I should. So kind of like keep an eye out for that. I'll maybe make an announcement if it works. But yeah, that's for another time. Look at the Gatling gun. Beautiful. Beautiful. So using different weapons and just kind of trying out stuff that you haven't tried before. Again, not only in Bloodborne, but in any of the other, Dark Souls, whatever. I highly recommend it. I did it and I have been having a blast. I literally marathoned like Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. Actually, I played it Dark Souls 2, then I did 2, 3, and then 1. And it has been like a blast. Like I've had like an amazing time doing it. But yeah, I think that the key to kind of spicing things up really is to primarily not take things so seriously, because a lot of people they focus too much on like the numbers on the screen. Like, oh man, I gotta level up my whatever and my whatever so that I can pick up the weapon that I want later. And then I would recommend not doing that. Just kind of play with whatever you got until you get the weapon that you need, until you get the weapon that you want to use for the playthrough. Just kind of go with it, I feel like a more casual approach to things inevitably makes things better in these games. The more you stress about it, the less fun you're gonna have overall. I mean, that's just an observation. That's not a fact. I'm not a psychologist or anything, but the more seriously you take it, like, the more prone you're gonna be to burning out. And the key to not burning out is obviously playing other games, diversifying like what you do in the games. Maybe do a little challenge run, maybe do a co-op run, play with a friend, do some co-op with other people, which I was doing. I've been doing it for like 4 months. On and off. I just hop onto Bloodborne, kill Ludwig, kill the orphan with someone else, help them get through the fight, and it's really fun. I've been having like a revival in my heart for just kind of interacting with people, which I don't normally like to do, which is strange because I upload videos to YouTube, but this is more like therapy, so don't worry about it. But yeah, try it out. Do some co-op. Forget about the numbers. Like the stats, the builds. Don't worry about that. Worry about it later when you're really like deeper into the end game of the PvE. Then go like, hey, I should really go get the thing, and then worry about it. But in the meantime, just kind of enjoy it for what it is. You know, these games are all fantastic in their own way, and yeah, just kind of roll with it. Enough rambling. Thank you for watching. Again, thank you to those of you that subscribed like a month ago. Sorry that I didn't thank you earlier. I did notice you. Welcome to my channel. Whatever this is, I don't know what I'm doing. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Enjoy the rest of this rolling and killing the host, and I'll see you in the next one.